Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm so excited. So this week we had a lot of really cool and unique things sell, and we're going to kind of go over it. We're going to go over it really quickly, and if you hear this really weird sound, it is this huge bullfrog outside that just keeps on making tons of noise. So anyway, he's just out there, and okay, so let's dive right on into it. This week, we went to our local Goodwill, and while we were there, I happened to stumble across count them, five Monster High dolls. So I was like, oh my gosh, these are Monster High dolls. I'm going to get them because I had seen that some Monster High dolls had gone for like $49. Well, these were in really good condition. Like, their hair was kind of messed up, but I just brought it home. I put a little bit of conditioner in them, brushed them out, so they didn't have like any marks on them. Not like the My Little Ponies from last week that their hooves and their noses were all chewed off. These were like mint condition. They were in really good condition. So when I got them home, got them cleaned up, I decided to put them on for $60, for $59.95. It was a buy it now. The customer bought them and they paid for shipping, and anyway, here they are. I was super excited because I paid, our Goodwill here is a little bit more expensive than some Goodwills that we go to in other states and other towns, but I paid $3 a piece for these Monster Highs, but at a return of, $60, I made pretty good on them, so I was happy. All right, so moving right along. Grief, I can't hardly think tonight. But anyway, so like on this one, you can tell it's like double stitched. But a long time ago, they used to do a single stitch. Anyway, those are called single stitch t-shirts. They're vintage and they're worth, a little bit more money than, say, like a regular t-shirt. Anyway, I found one that was like an Ironworks shirt, and here it is. It sold, I want to say I paid like $1 for it at a garage sale, and it sold for $39, and the buyer paid shipping. The cool thing about t-shirts and anything plush, clothing wise, I guess, is that you don't have to worry about how they're going to get there in shipping. You just, package it correctly and ship it off, and you don't have to worry about anything breaking. With most everything else, you do have to kind of make sure that you have enough, bubble wrap and saran wrap and newspaper and everything to make sure that, what you're shipping gets to your customer all in one piece, and that's stresses me out. But anyway, I'm learning to deal with it. Okay, so moving right along. So you guys remember in the last video I was talking about that My Little Pony lot that I bought? Well, again, this week, bing! I got an offer for the Milo, I think it was called like Wave Runner or something like that. And remember, it was a part of that lot that I bought for $2. Anyway, I got an offer for $15. They paid shipping, and it was a good offer, so I accepted it. Remember, anytime that you get a good offer, as long as it's reasonable, take it. It keeps your algorithms going with eBay, and that's the most important thing. We have found that as long as we are listing every single day 10 or more items, we seem to keep just trugging, right along and selling. It's whenever that, we go on vacation or we're not there to do that, that we start noticing that our inclines are going down. Some say, oh, that doesn't have anything to do with it, but I really think it does. I think that there's some kind of algorithm going on in there. So just remember, keep that up. If somebody offers you a reasonable offer, take it. If you start turning down every single offer that comes through, that algorithm for that is going to push your stuff down, and then not as many people are going to see it. It's just an observation of what I've noticed. So, take that information and log it away, and then, try it for yourself, see if it works. Okay. So, I had seen these, what are they called? Boyd's Bears, right? And everybody was saying, oh, you need to, get the Boyd's Bears. They, they sell really good. But, well, they don't sell for me. I don't know if it's just, they just don't sell for me or what, but they do not sell. They just kind of hang around. So anyway, we've had these Boyd's Bears since we started. So they've been on for quite a while. Anyway, I sold my first set. I was like, oh, thank goodness. And I paid, I think each bear was a lot of 3, and I paid $3 a piece for them. So that's $9. And I was thinking, man, this is taking a really long time for these little boogers to sell. And sure enough, they ended up selling But I mean, they only sold for $24. The buyer did pay shipping, so you know, I did, you know, make my money back plus a little some. But I don't know necessarily that I would get the Boyd's Beard plushes again. I might, but at this stage, I have so many. I'm just thinking, man, these things just really need to go. They need to go. So if you need Boyd's Bears, I have a ton in my eBay store. Go check it out. Okay. So next we have, so at the garage sale that had all of the Care Bear and the Garfield little trinkets and stuff that I bought, all the collectibles and antiques stuff, vintage that I bought at that garage sale. They also had, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but like, I know like several of my aunts, I think my grandma might have had some, but they were little miniature like kitchen appliances, little miniature kitchen utensils and stuff that were magnets that went on your refrigerator. You guys remember that? Anyway, so they happened to have a whole little basket full of these magnets at this garage sale. So remember I told you I bought the whole lot of them. And anyway, so I think, I mean, if I was to divide it up, I think I ended up paying like maybe 25 cents a piece for these little magnets. And I bought quite a few. I bought probably 20 of them. Anyway, so 2 of them have sold this week. I was really excited about this because of the return on them. Okay, so now remember I told you that I paid 25 cents if I was, you know, to divide it out. Paid 25 cents. One of them, which was the little mini coffee pot, which is right here, it sold for $14 and they paid for shipping. So for 25 cents, that was a really good deal. So if you see those little miniature, don't pass them up. Go ahead and get them because that will put some money in your pocket. The next one that I sold is this one, and it was one of those little mini mixers, and it was like a countertop mixer, not a hand mixer, the little miniature ones, the magnet. And anyway, again, paid 25 cents, sold it for $9. They paid for shipping. I mean, it was a win-win. I was really, really excited about that, especially because I only paid 25 cents for them. So, ooh, yay me. I just happen to find Lord of the Rings stuff all the time. Everywhere I go, I find it. And my husband, actually, when we were at this one particular garage sale, found these Lord of the Rings magazines, okay? And I guess they're like collector sets. And anyway, he was like, hey, you know, see if she'll make a bundle deal. I asked her, and she did. And instead of $1 a piece, she came down to 75 cents a piece. Well, there were 6 of them, and we sold them this week for this. So we sold them for $100. They were $75 a piece. The buyer paid shipping, and it was an international sale. I have noticed that if something doesn't sell in my eBay store, if I will take it, and these are for the people that do vendor booths. If you'll take it and put it in your vendor booth, 9 times out of 10, you'll end up selling it. For instance, I found an old 1973 Tolkien The Hobbit set. It was 3 books. It was a set. And I was going to list them on eBay. But eBay only had them sold comps for $9. I took mine, and mine was kind of ratty, okay? I took mine to my vendor booth, put $21 on it. It sold the first weekend that I put it up there. So, you know, just because, you know, eBay's saying that it's, you know, not worth as much doesn't mean that you can't get more money for it, just like I did with those Tolkien books, the Hobbit books. So just because eBay, you know, says that it's only worth $9 doesn't mean that you can't double it and ask for more and put it in your vendor booth, because that's exactly what I did. So, okay, so that's my little tip for you tonight. Moving right along. Next is the Cabbage Patch doll. Oh my gosh. So you guys remember me telling you about the little Cabbage Patch doll with the little hair and the little binky that she had in her mouth? I think that I showed you guys. Anyway, so I picked this Cabbage Patch up for $1. She was in super excellent condition. And anyway, she sold. Somebody offered me $15 for her. I took it. And they paid for shipping and shipped it out this week. So anytime you get a chance to dig through some of those plushes that they're getting rid of at the garage sale, I would definitely advise that you do that, because there's a lot of money to be made, and a lot of times those people will just give you whatever's in those plush boxes because they don't want to mess with them anymore. So my little tip for you. Next is a puzzle. So I had picked up a Thomas Kincaid puzzle at a garage sale for, I don't even think I paid $1 for it. I think I paid like 50 cents. Anyway, it just so happened that it was like brand new. They'd never used it, nothing. It was all still in plastic. Anyway, so this week it sold for $13.95. The buyer paid for shipping, also an international sale. And anyway, I was happy. I mean, for just, you know, a couple of cents and able to turn a profit. Always make sure that you're looking out for anything that's sealed, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something that's going to make you some money. And that's something, you know, it's just an extra avenue, is if you wanted to do a vendor booth, just an extra avenue to get rid of some of your collectibles. Gives you a reason to shop too. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so here is one that kind of blew me away. So I had gone to this garage sale, and this lady was giving away all of her books. She was just like, I don't care anything about these books, just take them. I don't want to have to mess with them anymore. I don't want to pull them in and out. So anyway, I offered her. I was like, well, I feel bad just taking them. She's like, no, just take them. So I think I ended up giving her like 50 cents for it. Anyway, so this week, this book sold for $59.95. Let me say that again. A book that I paid, well, actually it was given to me, but I paid her 50 cents, sold for $59.95. Yeah, a book. So some of those books really are worth quite a bit. And this was just one that I just happened to like the way the cover looked. And so I picked it up. I had no idea that it was worth anything until I got home. So anyway, I was happy about that one. Okay, so next is going to be Pyrex Bowls. Okay, so Corningware and Pyrex, man, sometimes you can find them and they'll just fly off the shelves and you just made a quick buck and it's just awesome. And then other times they'll just sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there. I think this particular set sat in my eBay store, I want to say, for a good 2 months before it finally sold. And it did. It finally sold. It sold this week. But I paid $3 a piece. There's 3 pieces, so I paid $9. And then they ended up selling for $36.95, which is a pretty good return. But, you know, just be aware that sometimes, you know, just because it is, you know, Pyrex or, you know, Corning doesn't mean it's going to sell immediately. You guys remember I talk about them all the time in every single video about hats. Hats sell. Of the lot that we got a couple of weekends ago, it was a big box of free hats that were sitting out by the street. They didn't want them anymore, and it was the end of the garage sale, and so they just gave them to us. Of those, we have sold probably about 5 or 6 hats. The very least of them selling for $14.95 and going all the way up to 40 bucks. So hats. Here is the Bowtech hat that sold this week. And of course there's been a couple other ones, but we're going to focus on this one for this video and its purposes. Next is going to be mini puzzle. So my husband picked up this mini puzzle at the bins. And if you don't know what the bins are, you can just look for it here on YouTube. Bins are Goodwill bins, all right? So where it's just kind of like chaotic, crazy mess of that you can go and just pick up whatever you want, and then they charge you by the pound on how much stuff that you get. Anyway, so he got like some plushes and these like teeny tiny little puzzle, but it was still in the plastic. Well, we brought it home and I got to looking at it. Anyway, I got an offer for $33. Somebody bought it and we sold it. So it was right here. And it was really, really little, so it was easy to ship. I love that. I love when they're easy to ship. And okay, so while we were on our little trip that we took, we stopped off in the middle of nowhere in this backcountry road at this little barn. It was said, you know, like giant barn sale, stop here. So we did, and we go in, and this is going to be an honorable mention. All right, so we go in, and there's this little old lady sitting in there, and it's like this, it's a barn, an old-timey barn, and she has turned it into kind of like her little secondhand store that she goes out there, sits and sells during the weekend. Well, on this particular weekend, it was really, really rainy, so there wasn't hardly anybody. I think we were the only people that she'd had that day. And so she was ready to make some deals, and we were able to get some really good deals. I picked up this, it's a brass fan, okay? I haven't put it on eBay yet, but I do plan on getting it up this week, and here it is. and I'm gonna put the comps that we found to this particular brass fan here so you can look. And that is my honorable mention. We spent $32 on this fan, and I plan to list it somewhere around $300. So anyway, okay, so that is my video for this week. I hope that you are learning right along with me. It's just going to be a journey. It's all kind of like a video blog. So I'm just going to tell you basically what I'm up to each week, and how I'm doing it and what I'm selling, and hopefully you can glean from that and learn a little bit as well. Okay, so I'll see you on the next one. Be sure that you like, subscribe, and comment, because I would like to chit chat back and forth with you guys. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.